Are you ready?
Yeah, I was born ready. Just what I do.
Trent, are you ready?
He's giving the nod.
Trent's ready. Welcome back, everybody. The I Don't Drink Coffee podcast, starring LJ
Hello!
and guest starring Trent Hardaway in the back.
Looking good.
Yeah, look at those forearms.
Well, let's say, and don't forget my fine co-host here, Ben Klein,
Thank you.
Black Line Insurance Group.
This
I wanna-
episode is brought to you by Blackline Insurance Group.
and brought to you also by Ben's office is hot as hell.
It is very hot. And let's go ahead and start talking about that because people are wondering why we haven't put out a podcast in a while. And really, we were due for a new podcast a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
So,
No AC. It's hot in here.
no AC.
And why?
Because someone thought it was a good idea to steal the copper out of all of the AC units at this facility.
Yeah, anybody watching this, let's do a little Crime Stoppers here real quick. Anybody watching this knows who stole the copper out of there? I don't have any vested stake in this building other than I come here and do podcasts, but I'd really like to know.
Well,
I'd really like to find the person that stole the copper.
yeah.
Please. Please. I'm not going to offer a reward. I'm not going that far, but I would like to know. It'd be cool to go take it out of their ass. You know what I'm saying?
Is there some sort of reward that you can offer that has a lot of small fine print,
I don't know.
like for the arrest and conviction of the death penalty, maybe?
Yeah.
And if all that goes down, then
Yeah,
we'll pay.
because I'm guessing it's probably, if I had to guess, we've been in here a few hours and it's cooled off quite a bit. But
We have been in here a few hours talking and not filmed a single thing, not recorded a single thing. And it's
pretty
nothing
normal,
that
yeah.
we can record. That's why we get to sit down and do our little warm up about stuff that nobody needs to know about.
Or some stuff nobody would care about even probably, but
Nobody needs to know about.
yeah. But I'm saying it's probably, you think it's 90 in here?
Man, it's close.
Dude, I thought I felt a little fan. Oh God.
I hope the fan's not coming through on the audio. But yeah, the someone stole the freaking copper. Anyways, that's what the text was. It was like, hey, the AC units were vandalized. And I didn't know, what that meant. I just thought somebody spray paint them or, what? I mean, and
What's this got to do with me?
then later on, yeah, well, there's no AC units. There's no AC. I did get that, and I was like, did somebody spray paint them, and they're not working right, or maybe somebody's working on it, but no, the insurance insurance adjuster has to come, and some video has to be reviewed, and we're gonna, so if that person that stole the copper is listening or watching,
Just go ahead and turn yourself in.
it's probably a good idea.
We
But
gonna find you. We gonna find you.
you're going down.
Yeah. Well,
And we haven't gotten to any other issues other than that's why we have not produced a show.
and it's that time of year here anyway. My air conditioner went out at my house last weekend.
Don't put that on me.
Dude, let me tell you something. It was real hot one day. It was like last Friday, and real hot. I had to be out in it all day. God. And I come home. I'm tired. I've been sweaty all day. My shirt's like all crusty from sweating. Nasty. Come home and it's hot. You know what I mean? I'm like, so I go look at the thermostat. Oh God, let's turn it down.
Was it running already?
When it kicks, when it's sitting there running, and I'm like feeling of it, and it's not cold. It's just like cool. Well, I was like,
Low on Freon?
well, the capacitor went out in it, and
I've got one.
well, this one had the wrong one in it. Somebody already put the wrong one in it. I've got a carrier brand. I'm definitely not trying to tout this brand because I don't care for it. We've had this AC unit worked on several times. I don't like it. Don't like Carrier. Don't buy Carrier. Buy something else. I don't know what, because I haven't had a whole lot of central heat and air in my life. I usually, when I grew up, we had like window units. So this Carrier sucks. This one does. I don't know if they all suck, but this one sucks bad.
It's called Carrier?
Carrier's
That's
the brand. Yeah.
Okay.
So I told my wife, I said, well, I got to work tomorrow on a Saturday. And I was like, I'm not coming home to this heat because we have our homeowners insurance. We can call and they'll send someone out and it costs us $75 no matter what they have to do. Like we got a $800 thermostat put in, cost us $75 because the other one went bad. Which I thought was a cool thing. It's a neat thing that she bought that I didn't, whenever we were going through it or whatever, I was just like, whatever, oh, protection plan, great, one of those things. But anyway, it's pretty cheap. She's like, well, let's just wait till Monday and we'll have the people come by and it costs $75. I was like, I don't care. I don't care what it costs. I'm not coming home to a hot house again. It's supposed to be just as hot.
So you slept that night with it hot?
Let me tell you what I did. Okay, I took a cold shower, as cold as I could stand it, even though I was sweating and gross. Cold shower, right? Yeah. Get out, put on my my little black gym shorts, laid on my couch with the ceiling fan on high as it would go, and slept there with no covers, no nothing, all night long.
Now, when you put these gym shorts on, do you have underwear or boxers underneath them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm just trying to get a visual.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not pleasant anyway because I had no shirt on. Okay, right. So that's bad enough if not anything else. But
so you were able to sleep that way?
Nah, I mean I was kind of off and on.
You could call me up and be like, "Dude, we have no air conditioner. Can I come over and crash at your house?"
You want me to bring my entire tribe of people over there? Because it wouldn't just be me, okay? It'd be.
What you mean? You just can't come?
You know what I told Gavin? You know what I told Gavin? I was like, "You better find somebody else's house to stay at, dude. You don't want to come home. It's hot." And I think Serenade was. I think she was at her dad's still. Anyways.
What about Carter?
I think it's with his mom.
Oh, so basically,
I'm trying to remember.
You and Brandy were alone.
I was just giving you.
Y'all could have just came over and I don't know. We've got an extra
chill
bed
or whatever.
Yeah.
Well,
for real though. Come on.
I almost rented a hotel room because or motel. Which one is it?
Just call me.
Which one is it? Hotel or motel?
Well, with your cheap ass, it'd probably be a motel.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, whatever it was going to be, I was thinking about doing that, but I said
you could have just called me up.
Well, I mean,
we could have did podcasts right there in the living room.
Yeah.
Ate popcorn. Watch a movie while we did a little miniature podcast.
We wouldn't get anything done, dude. We'd sit there and talk about the movie or whatever. But.
We've done that. You came over to watch a movie one night, and we did not watch a movie, and it was late. And I was like, dude, we gotta stop this.
It's too late probably to watch this movie.
So come back and let's watch. And you still haven't come back and watch a movie with me.
I know, man.
Probably because you know that we're not gonna be watching no movie.
Well, I went and watched John Wick without you the other day. John Wick 3. I didn't.
Dude, I was fixing to hit stop.
I did not. I've been wanting to make that joke all night long.
You probably
man.
did.
I didn't. I swear. But I did tell Brandy I was going to do it, and she laughed. So did I. But anyway, so
she laughs at me a lot.
Well, I just Googled. Yeah, she does. Air conditioning repair in McAllister's. What I did because I know Flip is in Seattle, so he can't come down and fix my air conditioner for me. As much as I would like for him to, I can't afford the flight and all that.
So it was just running, and it was a capacitor.
Yeah, and I went and took the cover off the side, and the contacts. I tried to push it on the contacts, and they wouldn't engage. So I knew either the capacitor or those contacts were bad. I don't know a whole lot about air conditioning, but I do know those those little tidbits to get the compressor to kick in.
What about maybe low on Freon, and like your stuff would be frozen up, like
your
coil?
What
was making you think that it was one of those two?
Well, when I took that cover off, I didn't look at the coil inside because the way it's made, I have to take this big thing off, so I don't jack with that. But I went out there and pulled the cover off, and I was like, oh crap, So I knew I was done for the night.
You should have called me up, dude. I have a capacitor that I bought.
Yeah, but I have to have the right one. This is Carrier, dude. They suck balls.
Where'd you get it at? What kind of capacitor
I
is
don't
it?
know what the
Oh,
dude
okay.
got it. I don't know.
I guess it's irrelevant.
Yeah, I called this dude and he comes out. Guess what it cost me to have my air conditioner fixed?
$75.
$300. I was super pissed.
So the protection plan didn't protect you?
They don't do it on weekends, bruh. You gotta wait for Monday.
Huh?
They don't do the protection plan on the weekends.
They don't like reimburse you?
Hell no.
Like you present them the bill?
I don't know.
And the,
Maybe so.
that's what you need to look into.
All I know
That's
was
the fine print we were talking about earlier.
$293. And I asked her, I said, AC guy's on his way, because I just started calling people till somebody answered. You know what I'm saying? And this dude calls me back, actually. And I said, hey, man, I need my air conditioner fixed. He's like, oh, I just live down the road from you, no problem. So I called Brandy, hey, AC dude's on his way. She's like, I'm in the shower. You know, I'm like, well, get out of the shower and meet the AC guy, because I'm not coming home to a hot house.
You said you didn't care how much it cost, though, earlier.
I know, man, but that was before I knew it was $300. All of a sudden, I cared a lot.
No one shows up at your house left for less than that.
Dude.
That's bare minimum right there,
You
man.
know what, man?
You got lucky.
Now I know why my dad has window units.
Yeah.
You know, you can buy a brand new window unit for $300, a big badass one.
Or you can just get on Craigslist and buy one for $15.
Yeah.
You know, and then when it goes out, go buy another one for $15.
Well, you know, there's arguments both ways, but
I never had window units, but well, I did. Yes, I take that back.
What's
I
up?
did in my house in Wilburton. The central went out in it, so I just put some
window units
in it for the time being.
Took
So I got the other
the,
one fixed. But
bull by the horns. Huh?
well,
I was glad though when I came home that night.
yeah,
Took
yeah,
my
it felt
shower,
real good.
laid down in my bed and shivered till I put my blanket on. You know, the dog was shivering.
Do you sleep
and
in a
shit.
shirt?
No.
You just
Hell
sleep.
no.
But you sleep in your
In my
shorts?
gym shorts. Yeah.
Gym shorts. You sleep in gym shorts.
Yeah, like basketball shorts.
You don't just sleep in your boxers?
No, I have children in the house. What if I have to get
know.
up? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I can't walk around with
that's
my
true. I know.
junk hanging out and all that. You know.
Well, I mean, you can wear like boxers that, you know.
I don't wear boxers. They suck.
Mm.
I'm too fat for boxers, dude. Boxer briefs, yes. Regular boxers, nah.
What's regular boxers? What's the difference?
You gonna make me break down the fatness? Okay, the
well,
fatness is my thighs will rub together, okay? And boxers hang down. They're not tight to my legs, so my little legs don't rub together and I get chafed. You see what I'm saying?
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about boxers, man, like shorts.
Yeah, what about them? And they have a hole in the front, man.
They
where your
do
junk
have a
will
hole in the
fall
front.
out.
I'm gonna tell you a little funny story about
Oh, God, I'm scared.
that. And it almost is like a segue. I mean, it's almost like we set this up on purpose, but we did not at all.
No, I don't know what
Should
you
I
would
tell
say.
the story?
I don't know. Don't be scared, man.
Man, I just have some weird stuff happens to me, you know. And when I was a kid, speaking of that, because I'm gonna go ahead and talk about it. When I was a kid, you know, I don't know, high school, maybe junior high school, and after gym class, after we had basketball practice, I say gym class, it was basketball practice. We're man, I remember it like it was yesterday. So I'm changing, right? You know, and I've told you the story too. I'm changing, okay, but I'm talking, all right. And I'm talking, telling a story, whatever, and everybody's looking at me. Sorry.
Right.
Everybody's looking at me. Okay, I'm telling a story. And I look down. Okay. And the old wang is hanging right out the front of my gym shorts, or my boxers, gym shorts, boxers. I'd sit there and told this story, dude, for 5 minutes at least.
Nobody heard a word you said. Everybody's just like this.
No one said a word
God.
to me about it. I looked down and I was like, oh. He wanted to say hi, you know?
Yeah, dude. Well, and that's what, you know, in that type of setting, it wouldn't be, to me, I would probably laugh if I was there. I'd be like, hey.
Yeah, dude.
You know, your Johnson's hanging out, you know?
You wouldn't.
But,
you,
yeah, I would. Dude.
You would have said your last name?
Yes, why not? I mean,
you told me the other day you didn't, when we were trying to think of a podcast name and I wanted to name it
yeah, I mean, that's,
Klein's Johnson.
Yeah, I don't want to walk around and it be something that I'm daily known for. You know what I mean? Like this. Oh yeah, you're Ben's dick. You know what I mean? No, no, it doesn't work. But anyway,
Sorry for laughing in the mic.
in that setting, I can see it because I played ball in school and it
Well,
unfortunately was part of it. But
I was little Ben, you know what I mean? Like I was smaller than
oh,
everybody. Oh, not that
especially
way.
after that secret, that
No,
little day. Oh, I'm
no,
so sorry, dude.
no. I'm
You know what I
sure.
mean?
I'm sure everybody was like, "Oh God, this dude is not.
Look at the handle on Ben
That
over
is
there.
that is not little Ben." Anyways, but for real,
Well, let me tell you something.
mean-
Let me tell you a little story about, we
For
had
real.
Travis on the podcast here a few weeks ago.
for real.
This is a story that has to do about when we were living together in Broken Arrow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I worked for this bricklayer up there.
Are you telling the story about your
Don't
hair
ruin
again?
it. Don't
your
ruin
hair.
No, not the hair.
I just
No,
wanted
no.
to hear it again.
No, that's done. This is even funnier to me. So I'm working for this guy, right? And he's smokes weed a lot and that kind of thing like that. I mean, wasn't that big a deal, I don't guess, especially when I'm 21.
Right.
But but he's pretty irresponsible about times. You know what I mean? It was summertime, really hot, and we would, be out there working in it, laying rock and brick and stuff like that. So he always was talking about getting an early start. So he's like, I'm gonna be there at 5 a.m, pick you up. We're gonna get out while it's cool, get a good start, and we'll quit whenever it starts to warm up in the afternoon, 2, 3 o'clock. We'll be done. We'll go home. I'm like, all right, sweet. So I go home, go to sleep, get up the next day, and at like 5 something, I'm ready to go. Right, I get dressed and I'm laying on the couch, okay, because I'm waiting on him to get there because he always, when he pulls up, this is before cell phones, so he'd come up and knock on the door and I'd get up and go with him. He'd pick me up. And because he just lived basically not too far away. And so I get up at like 7 o'clock in the morning after I've been up for 2 hours, I'm like, screw this, I'm going back to bed. This dude ain't showing up. So I go lay back down in my bed and I'm laying there and I'm about asleep. And I hear on my door, on the front door, So I'm like, oh, there he is, So I get up out of bed and I go walking in the hallway. As I'm walking in the hallway is like a T shape, okay? One way you go to Travis and Sherry's bedroom and my room's the other way on the T. So as I'm coming down the hallway, Travis comes running out of the bedroom. Why he's running, I don't know. But he's running, and he's naked as the day he was born. Okay? He's running. He sees me.
Why is he running?
I guess he was going to answer the door, okay?
Naked?
I don't know. He's going to go look and see who it was. I don't know, because he thought I was gone. I found this out later. He didn't know I was there, So this is before he had kids or anything, of course,
Right.
And so I'm looking at him. I'm like, and he just kind of like runs a little circle and runs right back in his room. And I'm like, and shuts the door. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? So I go and talk to my buddy. And he goes, well, I got to go down and get some gas stuff. I'm going to come back and pick you up. I was like, all right. So I walk back in there. Travis walks in. He's like, he's got clothes on this time, thank God. And he's like, get you an eyeful, did you? I was like, this is the worst day of my life. And so in that setting, that was my point. In a sports setting, it's one thing, but to just be in your own house and have your roommate run naked. And we didn't have that kind of relationship. We weren't close like that, where we were just like, hey, I'm naked, you naked? No. So it was funny. I don't know if he even remembers that or not.
Oh, I'm sure he did. I'm sure he does.
It was funny, though.
Listen, the reason why I remember it, other than the pure shock, when I looked down, I was like, oh, I've been telling the story this whole time, and these dudes have been looking at me this whole time, and nobody said a word. And still to this day, I know there's a couple guys that watched this podcast that I was in that locker room with me that may not remember it. Yeah, I don't see how they could forget it.
I wish I had some accidental stories. Like I went to a party one time at the end of Lake Wayne Wallace in Wilburton over by Robert's Cave, and we weren't supposed to be partying there, of course. Well, it's like basically it's not a swimming area. It's at the back side of the lake, and it's just kind of like it's not mossy, but it's got a few things growing up in it, and you can walk out into the lake. I mean, it's not steep or anything like that. You can just kind of walk out there. Well, it's at night, of course. We're out there drinking beer and partying and being stupid. And so everybody's like, hey, let's go skinny dipping, So we all take we go skinny dipping. Well, when we get done, we come out of the water. Everybody puts their clothes back on except for me. And I party for about an hour naked. So I would like go to these groups of people and I'd just walk up, have a beer in my hand, be like, hey, and everybody be like, oh God, and they'd all turn around and walk off. So I like walked around irritating people with my naked body.
Is this as a result or from a result as being drunk?
I don't know. I was just being stupid. You know what I mean? I just thought it'd be funny, something to do. People hated it.
Well, that definitely beats my story.
Well, and none of the chicks were like this. Woo, Everybody's like, ugh, So, yeah, it was.
Well, because they didn't want to.
It's my Blink 182 moment before Blink 182.
Right.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Rocked out with my.
So you were really doing that?
Cock out.
Oh God. You're really doing that?
I did it
for like an hour.
Yeah, for forever, dude.
I cannot see you doing that.
I was an idiot, I mean, I'm not far from an idiot now, but I was definitely an idiot in those days. But
it's funny.
But no, man.
I caught some skinny dippers one time when I was.
You caught them?
Patrolling, yeah.
Dude, and see, to me, that would suck. Like, as being a cop and catching people doing stuff like that, that's not really. I mean, what can you say? It's just you're kind of busting up a good time.
I didn't bust it up.
Oh, you just go, whoa, see y'all later, and drove off? Or did you say, everybody on the bank so you could see the girls or something like that?
Okay. Put your clothes back on. All right, I'm going to leave because you guys are not going to do this again, right? No, one time I just waited for them to leave because I was like, I'm not going to bust them up. I'm not going to go down there and ruin their good time.
You caught people skinny dipping there numerous times?
Well, this was at Cravens Lake, and this was just this is one time, okay, that this was one of the times, and I had stopped up on the road, and I don't just to sit or something, or maybe see if you could hear people down there because people were burning stuff down there, and we were thinking that people were trying to live, maybe people that were not known. Maybe some bad people. Some
homeless people or something like that?
No, not necessarily homeless, just people that weren't wanting to be caught, So we were kind of watching the area. So I went up there and parked and got out and could, when you're up there, I was kind of by the cemetery, Craven Cemetery. I don't even know if it's Craven Cemetery. No.
I don't know the name of it, but I know what you're talking about.
It's the cemetery up close to the Cravens Lake. But I don't think I was at the cemetery. I think it was closer down. But anyways, it's irrelevant.
I'm trying to remember the name of it, but go ahead.
I could hear them down there having a good time. Just two people.
Right? Two people?
Yeah. Just I didn't know at the time it was just two people. But when I pulled them over, when they left, it was two people. And I knew them both.
Dude, I couldn't do it, man.
And they were like, please.
Don't tell anybody we're here together.
Yes. Don't tell anybody we're here together. And I was like, I'm not one to say anything. And I didn't catch them, see them naked or anything, but.
Well, at least you had the decency to not go bust them up.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I could tell that they were not down there,
They're just down there skinny dipping.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, everybody likes to go skinny dipping sometime. I don't anymore, but it used to be fun and funny.
But you don't any less either.
No. Well, yeah, I do less. A lot less than I used to, yeah. Yeah. Well, in the heat like it is right now, it's nice, man.
I would skinny dip with you right now.
Oh.
Well, I mean, as hot as it is, let me say that. That's how hot it is in here. That if that was the only choice or only way of cooling off was to, okay, I'll shut up. Anyways, I had air conditioner problems last year at home. I've had AC issues actually every year that I've lived there, and I have a slow leak, and that's what they say. Well, you got a slow leak, and
it's not a carrier unit, is it?
No, and they're like, we can't really pinpoint it. So, we'd have to run all new lines, da da da. So they're like, but we can just put a pound in or whatever and you'll be good. Well, one guy was supposed to put in like stop leak and it did not work, but he charged me for it. So last year, I'm going to one up you here, but the guy shows up, right? And I said, man, all of a sudden, usually I can kind of tell that it's going down, that it's, starting to run more and stuff, and freeze up. But all of a sudden, and it's not froze up out there. I was like, I don't know what the problem is, I was like, what's happened is not what's normally happened the last 10 years that I've lived here. He's like, oh, okay. And so he fills it up, right? And he's like, dude, you had no Freon. And I'm hearing a like in my wall. I thought
there was Donald Duck was in your wall.
All the Freon that he just put in leaked out.
Oh god! In the wall? That sucks.
Yeah.
So they had to cut a hole in the wall to fix it.
Like $400 worth of Freon that he just put in went right out. So he had to put another $400 of Freon in, and he had to reline my, that goes from a unit in the ground and up to the. He had to do that, and I think he put a new heat pump on.
Jesus.
Yeah, dude. I had to, but I had tried to diagnose it at 4:00 in the morning, and went out there and was trying to, because I woke up in the middle. That's what happened. I woke up in the middle of the night and
sweating.
Yes, I was like, oh gosh, this is terrible. So around 9:00, I'm still working on it. And so I go to the electrical store and took the capacitor down there and went back up there, and I was like, oh gosh, I hope this is, I knew better. I knew it's not going to be that simple for me,
Yeah, dude.
And oh yeah, okay, we're back to good, No. So then I had to call somebody, and then it was like $1,200 or whatever before I.
See, there's certain things I know about that I'll try to fix myself, but my air conditioning is not one of them.
I will try to fix anything.
Well, I know you will. Yeah, you're the cheapest guy that's ever lived.
Well, I mean, I just want to get out there. I can fix it. A lot of times I can get it done.
But you didn't. You know what I'm saying?
No, because there was a gaping hole in the line that just
sounded like Donald Duck.
For whatever reason, this hole just opened up, and that's what happened. So now, and I called him back out there because I was like, hey, dude, when my unit starts up outside, I can even almost hear it inside. My unit like squeals. It sounds like a an old Chevrolet pickup belt,
Why's it gotta be Chevrolet?
So, well, because they suck, man. Oh. They're shitey vehicles. Okay, they're terrible. Freaking terrible. But anyways,
couldn't tell that you're a Ford guy.
This was a free shirt I got at the Shelby meet.
Yeah, because they have to give them away, Brian. Ain't nobody buying that.
Anyways, so it's hot in here.
It's hot everywhere.
So we came back, and he was like, I can't get it to do it. He couldn't get it to make the squealing noise. I was like, gosh. Kill it for a while, and then when it starts up, it sounds bad. It's real. If you're outside, you're like, what the heck?
It sounds like a horse nickering.
Yeah. Yeah. I made the horse sound last night in the car on the way back from the Rock House. I made this horse sound, and dude, Amy laughed so much. She thought it was really funny.
Why did you make a horse sound? Because of your anniversary?
No.
Dude, is this some kind of a sex thing? This is going bad.
Jason was in the car with us.
Oh, okay.
No, there was horses at the Rock House.
Yeah, there always are. Yeah.
So
it's a nice little eating joint not too far from us. Well, I say not too far, like, 30 miles.
She was like, it's an hour drive. She was like, why did you just make that sound? I was like, I don't know. I wanted to back there in the while we were eating, there's other people around us, because the rooms are real little. And I was like, I just didn't want to. But there was 3 women next to us. They were getting real drunk. Yeah. One of them was about 60-something years old. They were all, oh, gosh, I hope I don't watch this. We're not 60, but they were,
older.
Older than us. Well, not much older than you, but way older than me. So they were having a good time. They were having a real good time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized that they were all driving. They were all driving home, you know. And they were like,
Call
"Well,"
them in.
she's like, "What road do I?" They were talking to each other, you know, like, "What road do I take to go get back to Stigler, you know, from Red Oak, you know?" And one woman was like, "Well, I think it's 83." And I said, "No."
She's like, "I'm really drunk and tired. I need to go home."
They weren't like drunk, but they were, you know, they had a good time.
What did you eat a steak while you were there?
Of course I did.
Was it good?
Yes.
The last time I ate a steak there, it wasn't very good, man. I don't mean to cut the rock house. I really like it there, but it wasn't good. Had a lot of gristle in it, and I mean that could just be the cut, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. Did you get the cheap steak? I mean, that's the way you are. You got to get the good one, man.
No, I'm not that way. You are that way.
I got the ribeye.
I don't even remember what I ordered now.
Probably not the ribeye.
Did I get a filet mignon or something like that?
No,
I can't remember.
come on.
I don't remember.
That ain't gonna have gristle in it.
I remember there being more than there should have been in whatever it was I ordered. I don't know. I remember thinking this is kind of a shitty
Well,
kind of meat.
we went to Captain John's the night before, and I got a big steak.
Dude.
So now I have 2 steaks in my refrigerator because I don't eat them all. You know, I eat all the salad, and I eat the baked potato and whatever. You know, I'm going to the beach in a few weeks, and I'm not ready. I'm not beach ready. Not beach ready, dude. And I've been working out a little bit at the house at nighttime, and I'm not beach ready. And I've been really trying to get there, you know, in a short amount of time because, you know, I'm like, oh, God, going to the beach. Oh, you know, like anybody else, you know.
I don't do that.
Well, I'm tired of going to the beach and not being able to be myself, you know.
Yeah?
I want to let it out, man.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Like gym class? Let it out? Okay.
No, I don't want to go to jail.
All right.
I don't want to go to jail on Gulf Shores,
There's
man.
probably beaches for that down there, but
I haven't seen them. I'll find them. If they're there, I'll find them.
Okay. Let me know.
You know I will.
Well, you know, going to the beach is fun, and
heck yes, it is.
You know, it's just being beach ready.
Well,
I don't know what that would be. I don't know if I've ever been beach ready in my life. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm one of those people that
feel like I'm out there like playing volleyball, and I'm like maybe, you know, my belly's kind of, I don't know. I would, you know, I don't want abs. I mean, yeah, of course, I would love to have rock hard, you know, abs and be whatever. Well, but I'm not going to ever be that committed. I don't think. Maybe. I don't know. Probably not. You know, I like to have my baked potatoes.
Well, you're getting to an age now; it's a little bit harder to develop muscle and that kind of thing. So you know, it may be slow.
No,
you know, I mean, once you get over 40, it gets a little tougher to maintain muscle mass. Well, you got that downturn of testosterone.
Tell me that
and that
15
kind of thing,
years,
you know,
and maybe I'll
15.
Yeah, maybe 15 years. I'll be
or
around
2, you know,
not
15,
even close. No.
You know what? You're talking about being beach ready. You know, I spent a lifetime being like eating contest ready.
Yeah.
And, you know, and my life hasn't been that bad, you know.
Hey, mine hasn't either, man. It's never cost me anything, you know. Yeah. It's never cost me anything.
Well, I mean, when you are beach ready, okay, let's say, I'm sure you've went and you felt like, all right, I'm ready to go to the beach before, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you went and you're like, yeah, I'm ready now. I've been working out, looking good. Has anybody come up to you and go, damn, Ben, or damn stranger, whoever you are with this body, how you doing? No. You know what somebody's thinking? Some fat dad that's out there is going, look how much time this dude spent to come down here and get ready for the beach. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think I've ever been that hot.
Oh.
That some dad is like, oh, look at that guy, you know.
Well, and I don't mean to shame you for wanting to be in shape. Actually, that's the wrong mindset.
I know what you mean.
It is a lot of prep work, and I wouldn't beat yourself up too much, man.
Well, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, how I'm doing it, you know, how I'm going about doing it, which is not really going to be, but, you know, we've got baseball, and baseball's kind of getting in the way and stuff like that. So, like, when we get back from practice and stuff like that, I'll get out there and do a workout, and I'm just trying to
not be fat?
The best I can be. Yeah, not be fat, exactly.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. So when I go down there on the beach and I'm laying down, I don't have to worry about my gut sticking up, you know.
I've been trying to not be fat too, but just I'm not trying as hard as you are. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm not trying that hard either, obviously. But
I don't think I ever have to worry about getting melanoma in here. You know what I mean? Under my boobs. I think I'm going to be all right on that part of it. Might get it other places, but not there. You got to do what you got to do.
Well, I don't know.
Well, and especially on days like today, whenever it was really hot and I was helping my dad work on his dozer, I noticed that I wasn't beach ready. You know what I'm saying? It was very apparent. I was very aware. I had to get under this thing, by the way. Under this dozer, he's got a 350 John Deere. It's a pretty small little dozer that he's working on his place with. Dude, you should see me trying to wad up underneath this thing.
And of course, it breaks down on the hottest day of the year so far.
Yes, dude. Yes, of course it does. And all it did was blow a hose. That's what's bad about it. There's a hydraulic hose. And we had to take the entire front end of this thing off to get to that hose.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, so.
That's terrible.
It was a long day, but that was really loud.
Well, you had other issues.
Yeah, like trying to build my car.
You had other issues today.
Oh, with the ticks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had ticks. Yeah.
So you were in the shower.
I even had a tick on my rumpus.
Yeah?
Yes, on my rear end.
Rumpus, huh?
Mm-hmm. I did. I found it while I was washing my head, not my hair. My head.
Do you wash your head with anything other than just regular soap?
God, no.
Okay, you don't use shampoo?
No. What would be the point?
Are you sure?
I'm not trying to produce body out of this. You know what I'm saying? There's no...
Is that what shampoo's for?
I don't know. I haven't had hair in over 10 years, so I really don't remember what shampoo's for.
So you wash your head with regular soap?
Yeah.
Now, this is kind of like a current event. I know that we've been talking about some, old stuff. Already I had to tell a story about what happened to me when I was in, high school athletics. And you told a story about what happened with you and Travis. But now we're getting into some current stuff. You finding a tick on your butt in the shower.
That is current. That just
happened.
happened.
A few hours ago.
That just happened. And I found a couple. I actually found 3 others besides that. And that's what's scary. Whenever I was a kid growing up in the country and stuff like that, I'd get ticks, and you're just like, oh, dang,
Yeah.
Now, dude, I literally was like freaking out. When I found that thing in the shower, I almost fell out of the shower trying to get it away.
Why?
Because, dude, there's diseases. Them things are causing you where you can't eat red meat. And you can get Lyme's disease. And I was told I had Rocky Mountain spotted tick fever. How many years ago was that? I was told that 8 years ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I never even knew I had it. I knew I'd been sick or whatever, but it took me forever to get over it. Dude, I don't want none of that. It's no good. And now when I find a tick on me, I'm terrified.
Well, our guest, and that's another thing we were going to talk about, kinda. I guess we were supposed to have a guest here, right?
Yeah.
The one that we had lined up, and it just didn't work out with your work schedule, and
then the air conditioner was vandalized.
Right after the air conditioners, and I think they're new units too.
The air conditioning system, I guess.
Was vandalized. He also, I think, suffered from Lyme's disease and still does suffer from Lyme's disease.
And I haven't had Lyme's disease, thank God, but Avril Lavigne has.
And that was
she didn't appreciate.
That was one small thing I wanted. I mean, I know it's not small to him, but that was. And
talk a little bit about Lyme's disease.
Yeah, I want to talk about that a little bit and stuff like that. That's treatment and stuff that he's gotten. But Flip was telling me the other day, and I don't even know if I told you this, but Flip told me the other day that his wife found his kids, I guess, went with their grandparents, kind of out in the country, I guess, for the weekend or
Idaho.
whatever. And his wife found a tick
because I pay attention to what he's doing and you don't.
I wasn't going to give all the details because I'm bad about it. So nobody wants to hear the details. They're like, just get on with your story. Your wang was hanging out. Move on to the next story, please.
I only did that for Flip. That was just for Flip. I did that. So, sorry, go ahead.
So his kids were gone for the weekend, and she calls Flip up, and she's like, I just found a tick on his head. I'm taking him to the hospital right now.
Oh, God. Hey, dude.
Now, like you said earlier, when we were kids, when we found ticks on us, we were like, oh, shit, And it is a different ball game now. It's a different, it's a disease now.
Hell yeah, dude. I don't go to the hospital, but I take it serious when I find one. It's not. I can remember getting a bunch of the baby small ticks that we call C ticks here. I don't know what they call them everywhere else, but anyway, and I'd be covered in them, and they'd be like
Yeah.
stuck. And you'd have to take like alcohol and a towel and like wipe them to get them to come off and all that. And you're like, throw them away or whatever. Next thing you know, there's debilitating diseases coming from these things.
For real.
And it's I don't appreciate it at all.
I don't either.
I didn't like having those ticks on me, man. I was freaking out for real. When I found, and the one on my butt cheek was the last one that I found. You know what I'm saying? And I thought I had them all, man. I even looked in the mirror. I mean, look at me. I have a hard time seeing some areas of my body. Okay, I'll just admit that. And evidently, I missed the middle of my butt cheek till I'm washing my head, and I'm like, oh, that itches. Oh God. And I have some sort of minor meltdown and almost kill myself in the shower trying to get rid of it, because I threw it in the toilet.
Yeah.
I assume that the toilet kills them. I don't know if it does or not, but I don't want to squish them. It's like whenever I found one stuck on me when we were out working on the dozer, my dad's like, well, just smash it, and I'm like, ugh. I'm like, no, man, I'm terrified of tick blood. I'm not just smashing that thing.
Yeah, my grandpa would do that too, especially the dog ticks.
Oh, yeah. That's a disgusting dog.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, it's definitely something that happened to me today, and hopefully I don't have any adverse side effects. My wife, I think we've even mentioned on here before, she can't eat red meat.
Because of that?
Well, they think that could be a possibility of why. I mean, you can develop allergies as you get older.
How old was she when she first developed this?
Let's see.
Or when
She's
she
28 now, so she would have been 20. I have to ask her for sure, but I think 25, 26.
Does she have any ticks?
Not that we know of, but you can have ticks and they stay on you and fall off. You know what I'm saying? If you got them in some crevice where you don't look regularly. Yeah.
There ain't no crevices on normal people that don't look normal regularly. Sorry.
Really?
Yeah.
You check out your undercarriage daily? No, really? Okay. All right. I mean, I wash it, but I don't look at it. That's kind of odd. You look at it?
Well, I mean, when you're
check out your entire body daily.
When you're proud of what you got, you look at it.
Well, I guess so. I mean, even by yourself? I think that's weird. But anyway.
No, but you would think you would know that there's something there.
That sounds like some like Silence of the Lambs. You know what I mean? Are you doing the tuck? You know what I mean? Are you trying out different things? How weird is this exactly? We're digging in some territory we haven't ever covered.
There's no shame to my game, man.
Even in private, we haven't covered.
I'll do whatever.
Well, all right, man. I didn't know that. See, that's current events too.
Who don't do the tuck?
All right, I've done it before. All right,
You probably did it today.
No, I didn't. I did look. I did look under there, though. You know what I'm saying? I did check all my crevices, but I mean, in like my wife's case, she doesn't go out normally where ticks would be. So we can't rule out that it was like an adult allergy that just came on. Or
I'm gonna say it probably wasn't a tick.
Yeah, it's just something that whenever she found out what it was, they were kind of going over with it that it could be.
But I mean, really, I don't know anything, so don't.
Well,
and it's irrelevant. Oh, well, it's kind of relevant, I guess. I mean, but it would really, if she could go back and say, "Oh yeah,
well,
I do remember having a tick or whatever," but
we just recently there's a new guy that got hired at my work. That
makes any sense.
That his wife is. That she got hers from a tick bite. Like they have a name for it.
Same allergy?
Yeah, but hers is from they like tracked it backwards to a tick bite.
Oh gosh.
So yeah, it's a real thing, man. I don't want them on me. Okay,
no, I don't
like
either.
them. I mean, they're gross enough as it is, but now it's like a problem.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
So I'm like checking the spots where they've been stuck. Oh God, is there a black ring or a red ring around them or whatever? And,
I guess I don't know much about that.
Yeah, there's like a bullseye will develop around it. It can.
And that's bad?
Yeah. I think that's the Rocky Mountain spotted tick fever. I don't know. I have to Wikipedia it or something. WebMD it. Ooh, yeah.
There you go.
Do that, and be like, oh, God, I got cancer from a tick.
I got cancer AIDS.
Yeah, I had to have my leg amputated because of a tick. But anyway, yeah, that's... those tick bites ain't nothing to play with, man. I mean, they're like Wu-Tang, But on a better note, we did get the dozer fixed.
Good.
Got him back going again. And for 66 years old, he did really good. I got to admit. I mean, the man, he's a machine, dude. When I'm 66, I won't do as well because I remember, okay, it's kind of an odd thing, but he and I are the same amount of age apart. Like he was, okay, Gavin and I are the exact same amount apart. You know what I mean? So I remember when I was 16, Dad taking us to Colorado for a hunting trip, and he walked miles and miles in the mountain. Now, at 16, I kept up with him step for step. But as a man that is the age he is now, no. There's no way I could go up there and do what he did. You know, this dude's physically superior to me. You know what I'm saying? In every way. I mean, it's crazy. 66 years old.
It kind of gives you something to aim for.
Yeah. And, you know, what's funny about him is he doesn't watch what he eats. He doesn't, you know, he doesn't take care of his health. He, like, smokes one of those fake cigarette things, you know?
Vapes?
Yeah, it's some sort of a pen
E-cigarette?
thing. Yeah, of some sort. And he just chills. He just keeps rocking, man. He gets up, sweat. This dude sweats. Cramps and all that, you know. I mean, there was a lot of things. He fell down once today, like he was pulling on this wrench, and whenever the bolt broke loose, he was pulling so hard that he couldn't catch himself. So he fell with his knee kind of under him. And I was like staying back out of his way because my whole life, whenever I've seen him do that kind of thing before.
You gotta get
he
out of the
would
way.
come standing up. You know what I mean? So I'm sitting there looking at him. He's like, "Are you going to help me get up or not?" I'm like, "I didn't know you couldn't get up. You know, I have to help him up or whatever." That was trippy. You know, seeing him like that. Normally he'd be like, "Oh, you know, damn it, you know, get up and all that."
Yeah.
Know? So, but, you know, it was a nice way to spend my 1 of 2 days off working on a dozer that I don't operate or have anything to do with.
Where'd you get the hose at?
He had something. I don't know. I put back on what he gave me or whatever, you know, found the leak and repaired it. So, and of course, instead of being able to leave at 5 o'clock in the evening when we get done, he's got to go push with it. Well, I got to try it out. So he spends like 30 minutes out there pushing while I put up all the tools and get ready to leave. You know, he's out there trying it out or whatever. I'm like, finally, I'm out there standing there going, I'd like to go home. You know, I'm nasty and tick infested. You know? Oh, I forgot about the most important part of the story.
You don't have to tell it. But you can.
I had horrible. I want to give a little backstory here. I had my gallbladder removed 8 years ago.
Has it been that long?
Yeah,
Because I remember when
Brandy and I have been together 7 years.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you should be me. I was younger than you whenever all that happened.
Oh, man.
And
see? You broke down way before I started.
Right.
Which I ain't breaking down.
I eat bad, you know. But anyway, so since
I
that's
don't eat
happened,
the best.
well, and they told me when I had it removed that the first few months would be my body being adjusting, not having a gallbladder. I would, you know, greasy foods, that kind of thing like that, cause some severe upsets and that kind of thing in my intestines, you know, diarrhea and a bunch of other stuff. And I went through a period of that, but then it got a lot better. Well, now it's more like these just, you never know. I mean, I say never know. I mean, you might go along fine, and then all of a sudden, one day, you'll just have a really bad day. And today was my bad day when it was real hot outside.
Outside keyword.
In the woods. Yeah. And I'm like having stomach cramps, you know. I'm like, oh, God, Dad. You got any toilet paper? And he's like, yeah, I got some in the truck. He was busy or whatever, you know. So I go out there.
So you guys were like away from the house?
Way away. Miles away. So I say miles, probably 2 or 3 miles, but.
The dozer had to be fixed.
Yeah, man. I mean, really, I'm going to turn around to my dad and go, take me home so I can poop. And he's going to be like, shut up. And then go back to doing what he's doing. So he's like, go around the corner, you know, which is like some trees over there or whatever. And yeah, I go out there and.
Got a tick on your butt.
And blast the forest, yes. Yeah, it sucked. And then got a tick right on my ass cheek. And there were horse flies and everything else, dude. It's like, You know, thank God for indoor plumbing. I don't know how people survived. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you survived today.
I didn't appreciate it. And there was an end to it. You know what I'm saying? When I went home, you know, I got to take a shower
And
and,
find a tickle in your butt.
yes, attached to me. Yeah.
He was in it for the long haul.
He was trying to be,
Yeah.
but I snatched his little ass out of there and got rid of him. Anyway, so it was an eventful day on my day off.
Yeah, and we, you know, they haven't got the air conditioner fixed here yet, and we were thinking, well, you know, and then I was like, hey,
Yeah, in the middle of this, Benny Klein calls me while I'm in the shower.
yeah. I'm like,
Right after I find this tick.
you didn't tell me then though.
No.
She said, hey, just found a tick. I'm looking for ticks, man. I'll call you back.
Yeah.
But you had Siri call me.
Yeah, because I tried to get Siri to answer you when you called me. I was like, Siri, answer the phone.
You didn't know who it was?
Yeah, I could see it I had it sitting over by the sink. So I
Uh.
was looking and said Ben Klein. I was like, hell. Siri, answer that, you know. She's like, shut up, idiot. You know.
Keep looking for ticks, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Better check that taint.
And I said, we should go and do a podcast in the hot studio.
Only 30 minutes. Probably do a short one.
Right, and it's 54 minutes in, and I don't even think we've seemed like just like all of them. 54 minutes in, we ain't even started talking yet,
Yeah.
and people don't get it. They're like, "Man, how come your shows are so long?" I'm like, "Dude, because we just got started.
Well, there's
The only reason why we stop is because it's 4:00 in the morning. You know,
there's 4 hours worth of talking that we didn't even record, that we were standing outside.
that's the truth. Every time.
And some good podcast stuff was said while we were out there too. Is the
I know.
damnedest thing about it. But,
Like what? I forget.
well, we were talking about, you know, well, I started in griping about human civilization and how things are going. We need to save that for another day.
Okay.
I could do an entire podcast just talking about human evolution, development of, you know, human beings especially over the past 100 years. But
And some people have a problem with how it seems that, you know, everyone's getting soft.
Yeah, I was reading, or not reading, I was watching a video on YouTube of a guy that was talking to like business leaders that own companies about how millennials, and they call it anybody born after 1994, a millennial, how they're damaged because of poor parenting practices that have been in, you know, they're like roping everybody into one group.
Yeah.
And I tended to disagree with this guy some because he's like, oh, it's not really their fault. You know, it's poor parenting practices, da. We got to, you know, as owners of companies, we got to take these people in and we got to help them. You know, they've been given trophies whenever they didn't earn them. And I don't disagree with that part of it. But he was talking about the fact that socially, they're not going to be able to, they're not developed correctly at their correct age to get into a job and do a good job. You know, they were talking about you do what you like, but
Right.
but you know, the big gripe was that these kids will come in and they want free food and they want all these things and good money, and then whenever you give it to them, they still aren't happy. You know, he was talking about suicide rates and all these kind of things like that, and I don't see it in my life. I don't see that, you know, like having kids, and I'm not just defending my kids, but you know, I'm talking about this generation, you know, kids that have grown up with a phone in their hand. Not that it's all a good thing, but it's not all a bad thing. I don't think it's ruining people. You know, I think it's a next step in human evolution. You know, and I know that sounds dramatic and kind of grandiose and all that kind of thing like that, but I mean, it's definitely different. I'll admit that people are different, whether they're bad or good. It depends on who you are. You know, if you look at how you grew up yourself, you know, if you grew up in an age where there weren't phones, you know, and they've developed them as you were, you know, and an adult, like in my case particularly, you know, you could definitely see the difference. You know, I've lived long enough now, and this cell phone thing and the internet and all those kind of things like that. I mean, we've had internet for a long time, but it being in common use is relatively new,
Right.
so to speak. So that was the big complaint, is that it's changing these people, these new kids that are coming into the workforce, into these, or not changing them, it's allowing them to be underdeveloped, and that as a company, it's their job to step in and help develop these kids.
Well, if this company thinks that these guys are underdeveloped, then what? I mean, and it's not. It's not. An issue. It's kind of what you think, right?
I just see it as, like I was saying earlier, whenever you and I were talking before, um, in my mind, there's like, no matter what generation you talk about, the generation before them has some kind of a problem with how this younger generation's turning out, especially lately with technology and the kind of things we got going on.
I think. Go ahead.
Well,
Sorry.
I mean, that's always going to be that you're always going to have that element. I mean, when the older people are going, well, like I used the example earlier, and I'll use it again right now so I can illustrate my point. Whenever they first started having indoor toilets and indoor plumbing, I'm sure there were old timers who were like, well, these kids won't even go outside to take a dump, and now they're going to stink up the house. They're going to get soft because they, too afraid to go out and get hot or get cold and use the bathroom, blah, blah, blah. And it's going to make them soft and all that. We've had indoor plumbing for, 100 years. And when you look at it on a grand scale, has having indoor plumbing made everyone so soft that they're not human anymore? No. What? I mean, socially, of course, that's kind of a small thing compared to technology. But I just mean, excuse me, I think there's always been that, there's going to be that element. All old people think that the new generation's soft.
Yeah, I thought about that a lot too.
Because I'm looking around at kids, and like I said, man, I got to look at my own life because it's what I know the best. Because I don't really watch the news, I don't really watch a whole lot of television or anything like that. So maybe I'm a little disconnected, but I feel like I'm more maybe connected because I pay attention to like my son and some of his friends and some of the kids that I run across, and they're different. The kids are different, I would say, are they as hardened or whatever you want to say as I was, let's say, at 16 years old, and I wasn't the toughest kid in the world. But I just mean, they have a different, there's more technology, or there's more information available to them. So I feel like that makes a difference in, they speak more intelligently. I'm sorry, man. I mean, I don't see in my own life these kids getting dumber. I mean, these.
What about softer though?
Well, I mean, it depends on what you want to call soft.
Well, same argument can be made like for sports. Sports is definitely, kids and the youth in the sports now are definitely not the same as they were, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. They seem to be, athletes and not athletes themselves maybe, but people that are just dropping out of sports and not playing because, they're not getting playing time, and they're not, and it's because they're not putting in the work, and they're blaming everything on the coach, and the parents are, my kid this, my kid that, well, you just quit, and it really wasn't that way when, I was a kid. Really, and like when I was a kid, you got dropped off and you practiced with the coach, and then your parent came and picked you up. Nowadays, the parents are there watching the practices. They're watching the coach's every move, and we don't have any issues. Of course, we've got a great group, but I hear, stories from other teams where, oh, we're not gonna, play with them anymore because da 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 and da 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 da. And
well, if you think about it on this end of it, though, and this is not the coach's perspective, but this is the parent's perspective that I'm coming from. You're looking at it like this. Okay, well, it's a cool thing to me that the parents' jobs are set up where they're easier, let's say, or they're not as time consuming to where they can actually go to practices.
Well, we had parents back then that could have went to practices, but no one did. It was just a thing to drop your kid off, and that's kind of,
But see, I mean, don't you think?
I'm just saying that aspect of it is different, and it's not. I'm not saying parents being at practice is making these kids soft, but you do hear more that about kids that are being made to run, and even Trent and I coached in Wilburton, I don't know what, 05, 06, 07, somewhere in there. We coached in Wilburton, and we did have parents that were like, "You guys are making our kids run too much," and we were like making them run a little bit compared to what we ran,
Yeah.
and we were like, "What?
Yeah.
What do you mean?" I wouldn't. I was not ready for that. Well, and I never really had any parents that like came to me and was like, you know, what are you doing? None
Well,
of that.
normally-
But talk from the parents would get back to me because I was friends with some of the parents, and they're like, yeah, they're kind of mad because you guys are,
Yeah, but normally those kids, and I hate to be this way, but I don't know how else to look at it. But in my own experience with my kids playing youth sports, the kids whose parents are worried about that. Now, I understand in the heat, if you weren't hydrating them, I understand there's extenuating circumstances that could make it be that way. But I mean, in general, kids whose parents are worried about how much they're running don't stick with it anyway. Those kids most generally fall by the wayside. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a lot of times
there are more of them falling by the wayside nowadays.
Well, I mean,
that was a topic that Flip brought up. As kids in sports these days, and
Well, that's more of that evolution thing I'm talking
softer?
about, man. I mean, you got to think about it's a mentality.
Less kids are playing. Way less kids are playing. I couldn't tell you the statistics, but
well, it depends on the culture. Like last year, I remember they were talking about that in like McAllister High School that some of the sports were down as far as the numbers of kids that play.
Yeah.
But now this year, they're talking about the numbers being up. You got a bunch of new coaches came in. New environment. Everybody's a little bit excited. I want to see what it's about, see if this guy's good or not.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't play last year because I didn't like that coach. Well, this is a new coach. You got all these things that are bringing kids back into it. And I think it's an ebb and flow type thing, like sports has always been. I personally don't believe that human beings are that much different. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, there's going to be more instances of you being aware of it. You're going to be hyper aware, especially being a parent who has a kid that's playing ball. We're more involved in that arena, whereas when we were kids, we were just another kid playing, so it wasn't something that you really paid attention to.
Right.
Whether Johnny's dad stayed or win or whatever. So, I mean, you're now more aware of it than you were. But from a mentality standpoint, like when my kids play, if somebody's worried about their kid, if they're throwing a fit at the coach about their kid running and that kind of thing like that, usually that kid's soft before he got there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they like him being inside. They like him being air conditioning and all that. And my only answer to that is that's fine. Don't make him. He don't have to run then. But he's not going to play. And if he does, if you make him play, like some kids get plays and all that kind of things like that, he's going to suck anyway. You know what I'm saying? When you get babied like that, and dude, that's not just my opinion. I mean, that's like, I don't want to say it's scientific, but I mean, I can point to instance after instance of that. Where when these kids are allowed to be soft, they're going to be soft. You know what I'm saying? So those kids, by the time they're in 7th, 8th grade and they get into school ball, the kids ain't playing no more. You know what I mean? Because their parents are mad at the coach. Well, the coach makes them run too much. He yells too much. And
but that kind of goes back to: are we getting softer? Are these kids getting softer? Are we getting softer as a?
Well, in general, I think, like I said, I think that what we're seeing now is people are more aware. I mean, you have more information at your fingertips, and I mean locally as far as news goes. You have the internet, so you can compare what's going on. Let's say, just like we were talking about, what's going on here in Southeast Oklahoma compared to what's going on with Flip in Washington. Washington State. It used to. I mean, you think about that. 25 years ago, let's say, you wouldn't have been able to compare what was going up there. You wouldn't know what the hell was going on up there in Washington State, whether somebody's getting softer or not. So to me, there are a lot of things that people are more aware of, I think, now. But it's like saying that nobody ever cheated on their spouse in the 60s or the 50s. You know what I'm saying? The 50s be more accurate. And I'm just like, no. And there were no gays, before the 60s. And I'm like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell me that. You might be more aware of there being more gay people around, but it's not like homosexuality was like unheard of.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Or non-existent.
Well, even the Bible says there's nothing new under the sun, So I mean, I think for there to be a fundamental change that is a lasting change, you're going to have these times, where things are more prominent than others. But I mean, lasting changes emotionally for people, we've been getting soft since the Industrial Revolution. You know what I mean? If you think about it in those terms, yeah. You know what I mean? Just like me going out and pooping in the woods today. It was not easy. You know what I'm saying? I did not enjoy it. I didn't get to sit down and read like I normally do or scroll through Instagram or something like that. I didn't get to do that. I didn't even have my phone. Why? You know what I mean? I'm not going to get to relax. So, yeah, I mean, I'm softer than someone, I mean, I don't want to draw too many visuals to taking a dump, but I mean, imagine somebody 150 years ago. They'd have thought nothing of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? This dude would have been glad to have paper to wipe with. So he didn't have to use leaves or whatever. I don't know what they used back then, but, I mean, yeah. You would sleep in a house every night, so you're going to be softer. Yeah, man.
An air-conditioned house at that.
Right. Definitely got to have that. I'm definitely soft on that end of it. But that's my thing.
Well, and Flip and I were talking about camping, and he goes, and I kind of would rather him be on here before we start talking about him a lot, so we can kind of. But he was like, I don't camp, and I was like, you don't like camp, like in a camper, or. And he was like, a tent. I don't do that, and I was like, I don't either.
I don't like to camp in a tent. I mean,
maybe in the winter when I know it's going to be cold at night, because it has to be cold,
Well, staying in the tent for me.
I cannot do it when there's no air conditioning. I require air conditioning.
Right. And I do too.
And my great-great-great-great-grandpa would probably slap me in the face right now if he,
Well,
heard me say that.
You put him in a house with air conditioning whenever it's 110 outside.
I require air conditioning too, son.
This got to be like, whose mouth do I kiss for coming up with this? This is the best thing I've ever known of. I mean, that's human nature. You're going to go for, what's makes it more enjoyable.
Right.
And that's what we've got even with parents these days is you have life in general, I think is, as of right at this moment as we're speaking, is the most enjoyable it's ever been. You can actually enjoy the process of living your life out because you have these amenities that you can, and I don't know that are part of your life. So you can think about going to practice. You're not thinking about, well, I got to get firewood to build a fire to cook food with tonight.
In some ways, it's almost like kids these days too. They don't even know really how to talk on the phone.
Well, but you got to think about it like this too. Let's back up just for a second.
Hello?
Right. Yeah.
Here, let me text you.
Well, I mean, you back it up like this. Imagine 150 years ago telling somebody you played sports. You know what I mean? That you played a game. They'd be like, huh? I want to play a game. You want to play a game? You want to try to get something to eat?
Yeah, get your butt out there and plow.
And you know what I'm saying? I mean, could you imagine what, we talk about it being soft because they don't like to run playing sports, but think about on that end of it where a guy would sit here and go, why are you sitting here trying to throw that ball in that hoop?
Right.
How in the hell are you going to eat tonight?
Yeah.
Have you plucked a chicken yet?
Right.
Well, then you probably should get doing that instead of shooting that ball into the hoop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's where, that's why I don't, this idea that because we have phones and internet and all that, it's all going to hell in a handbasket. What? Dude, we live in the best time of human existence.
Yeah.
As far as, the known history of, humans or whatever.
I agree. We were not supposed to be talking about this. You said let's save this for another day.
I know, man, but
we went ahead and touched base on it.
Yeah, I've got
You're passionate about this.
I've got a whole lot more I could talk about.
I know you do
on this subject.
I know.
Well, and a lot of people are going to disagree. People are watching and listening and all that
Well, I
are
mean,
going to.
there's gonna always be two sides to every story, and there's gonna be good arguments for both.
Well, the fact
You
that
may
you've
not.
got time to get on and listen to a podcast or get on YouTube and let's argue about it,
Yeah.
and this is the most pertinent thing we got to argue about, means we live in a pretty damn nice time. You're not used to the train yet?
When I touched that,
Oh.
is when I heard it, and I was like, "What did I do?"
Well, okay. So we got on something I didn't really plan on getting on, but
No, but maybe somebody will have a good rebuttal.
hey, man, I'm down. Anybody wants to, respond?
Yeah.
On any platform you feel like responding on?
Yeah.
Let me know.
That's kind of the whole point. It's kind of like one of the listeners, one of the baseball moms, a friend of mine, she told me tonight, she's like, "Hey, I was screaming at the phone or whatever she was listening on because we got the bones in the leg wrong, right?" She was like, "It's the and this
tibia
and
and the fibia and all
and she
that.
goes, and you said," and I said, "Listen, I say the wrong things just to get people to start engaging. So just remember that. If I'm ever wrong, it was on purpose." She started laughing. She's like, "Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I see." I was like, "Yeah, if I'm ever wrong, it's because I said it on purpose, and I want someone to try to connect because we need the engagement. You know, that's what fuels the fire, especially with Facebook and
I don't
Instagram.
really like Facebook, but yeah.
Right, but
Yeah.
it helps fuel the fire, and it gives us ideas on stuff to talk about. Just like she corrected me, and so I'm coming on here and publicly saying I said it on purpose.
Well, I love the interaction.
I know what the bones were.
Yeah,
I
right.
do actually, but I just got them wrong.
Well, and the interaction part of this thing is the funnest thing to me. I mean, that's why we're sitting here doing this. We're interacting with each other.
Yeah.
I know I've had the opportunity since we started doing this to interact with people that I hadn't in years.
In years.
Yeah, I mean,
If ever. Some of them never.
Yeah,
Like,
it
hey.
kind of it's waking up old relationships, and I mean like friendships and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like that's the coolest part to me is to hear from people that you think, does anybody even care what
Right.
we're saying, or
Yeah.
does anybody agree or disagree?
And probably nobody does, but they act like they do.
Well, I mean that's all that matters.
Yeah, I guess so.
Appearance is what we got to worry about, but anyway.
And we were kind of late on this one, putting this out, but a week late actually because we didn't put one out last week.
Yeah.
And we usually
Well, we were one ahead though because we did one during the week. If we're doing it once a week.
Oh,
remember?
yeah.
Because whenever we did Dwayne Griffith, that was kind of a
major.
That was like we did
Griffith.
boom, and then James Hardy was like boom, boom.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we were kind of one ahead, really.
But like we were talking about, we'd like to start pumping out more.
Yeah.
This is fun to me, and we have a lot of people we want to get on.
Yeah.
And so maybe when your work schedule, if it ever kind of slows down, hopefully, where we can, be for sure like, hey, for sure we can do it tonight. And you'd be like, no, I can't. I'm, stuck at work or whatever. But
I'm trying to narrow that down.
and that's the whole issue. It's not that we're not serious about this because obviously
oh God,
we are.
no, man. I mean, I'm at the point of
And we're not stopping.
I'm almost ready to quit my job to be able to get down here to do this podcast. You know what I mean? I'm weighing that. I'm like, all right, man, how long can I live with the money I have right now? That way I could do the podcast. But no, I definitely take it. It's something very serious, especially with people that we're having to interact with us. I mean, that makes it even more. I feel more responsible to it, and that was to me that was the purpose of the whole thing, was to have something to be responsible to, and that we could share ideas, share opinions. We do this anyway. You and I do this anyway, so we might as well include people. That's the coolest thing to me about it so far. I mean, the areas that people are watching it from and the number of people that are watching it's crazy, man.
Yeah,
It's
really
awesome.
is. It really is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you hope, when we started this deal, I hoped that people would pay attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I was, always in the back of your mind, you're like, ooh, what if
People may not care.
What if everybody
Right.
thinks it sucks and nobody listens?
And thinks we're stupid.
And I'm like, well,
dumb.
the hell with it. We're going to put them out anyway.
Right,
But luckily, we've been very fortunate.
And people that is like, hey, when is the next one coming out? People I didn't even know, that even listened, because they're not liking it on Facebook. Because I'm watching, I'm trying to gather, who is listening, and it's kind of hard because a lot of you people are not even sharing or liking or even commenting, hey, love the podcast, keep up the good work. I mean, that's good enough.
Yeah, even haters, because we got haters out there who are like, have you heard this ridiculous shit that Ben Klein and Lucas Johnson are doing? It's the dumbest. They talk about the stupidest things. The stories are too long. They suck. They're not funny. Dude, even you guys, I would like to hear from. It's fine with me, dude.
Yeah.
Bring it.
Yeah.
Bring on the negative. I'd rather hear the negative. That way we know what we're doing wrong.
Yeah,
so that if it sucks, we can fix it. Or if we don't think that it sucks and you do, then you can just eat it. But
just eat it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But anyway. But
I'm like, I didn't even know you listened or watched or,
That's always awesome, though. Yeah.
Let us know. I mean, a lot of people are. A lot of people are sending, at least, sending messages. They're not wanting to go public with it and say that they listen to us. They're like, oh, well, I'm not going to, I don't know. I'm just like, why are you messaging me and telling me, post it,
Yeah. Well, that's, you bring up a good point.
And don't get me wrong. I'm fine with the messaging. I'm not saying, but,
Oh, I want to do one live.
It would be great. Oh, man.
I want to do one live.
Well, I brought it up to you first to do it live, and you were like, I don't think so.
I know.
And now,
and
kind of coming around.
Well, I was talking about this today. I'm wanting to get a little more real on here. You know what I mean? I want to get and not offensive, but real.
Well,
yeah. I mean,
but I don't know if people can handle us being real.
Yeah, if we think about it, we don't edit that much out. Once we're in the game, we're not.
I know, but we've never really been real.
Well, I know. I'm not going to be real like I would talk to my mama real. You know what I mean?
I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about the stuff that we not even necessarily. Well, yeah, maybe some of the stuff we've talked about, but hello, how are you?
I thought I was the only one that couldn't sleep.
Was you? Are you the guy that cleans?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We're doing a podcast.
I thought since there's no air conditioner, I thought I'd get here early.
I know it.
It's still hot in here.
It's still hot in here.
I didn't want to die.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. But we're about done. But
no problem. Y'all's in here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, don't die.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
Did you stop?
No, I kept it going because when I stop, that's what makes it hard on me. This right here will be simple.
Okay.
It'll be so easy to do this one.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
so as long as that camera keeps going and the the audio keeps rolling, dude, we're great.
Okay.
So, anyways, the stuff we talk about, and you say it to me a lot that I'm holding back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not as funny as I really am in real life.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
I know. And we laugh a lot, and then we're like, man, why can't we say this on the podcast? And then we hit the record button, and then I'm like, so everybody, how's it going? And I know. And then when I'm at home, I'm waiting, and I'm like, oh man, yeah, I could talk about this on the podcast. And we don't really, I'm like, should I write stuff down? Like just talking points, like stuff that I should touch base on, or should we just wing it? And then I'm like, well, we should just wing it because we're good at that. We're good at really both. But then I'm like, man, I could be better. I could be way better. I know that, and I'm not like holding back on purpose. I guess. I don't know.
Well, I mean, if you have talking points, I mean, you can do it. I'll just wing it because I can't schedule. You know what I'm saying?
No,
I
don't necessarily want to do that, but like certain things that I want to touch base on, like, because I want to touch base on this because it's a restaurant that it's a place that I've eaten at my whole life that I've dearly loved. When I first moved up here to McAllister, this was one of the places I always wanted to eat, and I've always loved it. Okay, even before I moved up here. I mean, as a kid, I always ate at Western Sizzlin'. I always loved Western Sizzlin'. It's always been great to me, you know. And honestly, it's the steak and the French fries, or the steak and the baked potato. It's always been great, man. I've always loved it. All right.
Yeah.
Well, it's closing.
Is it already closed?
It's already closed.
Yeah.
Okay, so I say it's closing. It's already closed. And I didn't want to touch base on this before it closed, if it was going to close or if it wasn't. I mean, because it may not have closed. I was hoping it didn't close. But a lot of things were going on. A lot of things were being said, like on Facebook and stuff, about, the new highway, all the construction and stuff, how it's really hurting, the businesses along the line, or in that area. And so I was like, man, I just can't. I'm not going to say that it didn't hurt it, because I'm sure it did.
Oh, I have guys that are working out of town right now at my job that are staying in McAllister, and they're like, who came up with this? They're like, who came up with the traveling system around downtown here around 69 Highway?
Yeah.
They're like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen.
Well, they initially wanted to put the overpass where it wouldn't be the way it was, but for whatever reason, and maybe it was, funding or whatever, they cut that part out. And I don't know, man. Don't get me started on
these
that.
guys hate it. You know what I mean? They're like, and one guy's from Louisiana, like South Louisiana, and the other one is from West Texas. And we were all three standing there talking about it, and they're like, this is terrible. They're like, the only places I eat are Chili's and Rib Crib, because it's on the same side as the hotel, and I don't have to get out and go on that big circle to get to the other side. He's like, because I was talking about Western Sizzlin', going out of business, and they're like, well, it's no wonder. He's like, I've been staying here for 10 days, and I've never eaten on the other side of the road because I don't want to have to drive over there. I'm like, wow, dude. And as somebody who lives here, I've almost gotten used to it. It's kind of like,
you know what you got to do.
Yeah, I've adapted to it to a certain degree, so I don't really think about it as much. But when they start talking about it, and I start thinking about it, if I was new to the area, oh, dude, it would be confusing, super confusing.
I agree.
And unhandy, I guess you'd say.
But I have a little small. I have a different opinion about it.
Okay.
And like I said, I'm sure it hurt it. I know it did. I know. But I've eaten in there a few times in the last couple years, and the food was terrible. Now, I'm not saying anything about the owners, because all I hear is good things about them, and so I'm not saying anything about them at all. But it was the worst food that I've eaten at Western Sizzlin' my whole life. And I was like, I'm never eating here again. And I hate being that way, because I'm really not that way. If it's one time, I'm like, oh, well, okay. But it was a few times.
Yeah. And
I was like, this is terrible food. And it's kind of like the Rock House. It kind of reminds me, the Rock House, not that restaurant. I'm just saying what makes me think of the whole situation of the construction hurting the business was the Rock House is busy, man, and they're in the middle of nowhere. So if you've got good food, people are going to go. Yep. Now, new guys, from the area, into the area or whatever, maybe not necessarily they're going to go to Western Sizzlin'. But if you've got good food.
Yeah, if you can get a good steak there,
people are going to go. People are going to go. And like I said, I'm not blaming it on it really does fall back on, the business owner. I mean, if your business is not doing well, there's something, you got to change. And if it's got to be the cook or whatever, I don't know. And maybe nobody was telling them, but the food was terrible. The food was terrible, man. And so when I was hearing this going on, I was like, and I've taken up for Western Sizzlin', man, since I've moved to McAllister. Because there's people I know that won't go there. And this was way before even the new owner took over. The owner, I think they had it for, quite a few years. But when I first moved here, they didn't own it. And I was like, oh, let's go to Western Sizzle. You know, oh, where we're going to eat. Let's go to Western Sizzle. No, I'm not going to Western Sizzle. And I'm like, dude, you know, why? You know, I love that place, you know. In the last couple years, I did not love that place.
Yeah, it's like a poor man's Golden Corral, sort of.
And I don't even know why I really wanted to touch base on that because it's been closed and it's kind of like, I'm not taking jabs at the owners because I know they're great people. I don't know them personally, but I know people who do know them, and they're great people. They are big in the community, help out.
Well, in the article I read in our local paper, it was like an editorial that was written by the owners, I guess, and they were talking about being, one of the first casualties of this system that they've got to travel there around those eating areas, and I like I said, I've kind of feel that they got a valid point to a degree about. I wouldn't say that you could ruin a place that way, because Taco Bell seems to be doing okay. I mean, there's plenty of things along through there.
And Taco Bell is the nastiest place in McAllister. That and Pizza Hut.
They're pretty rough, but they're still going. You know what I
mean?
They're
I
still
love
open.
Taco Bell, and I love Pizza Hut, but McAllister's Taco Bell and Pizza Hut are nasty.
Yeah.
Straight up. I may be talking too close to my mic. You may be able to hear me fine.
I can hear you real good.
Okay. I'm sorry, but in my headset I can't really.
Okay.
There's a little
Might
echo.
turn
We
it
talked
up a
about
little
this
bit.
beforehand. But they are, of the restaurants I go to in McAllister, and I like to dabble in, I like a little variety, which I'm not big on, I don't go out to eat all the time anyways, but I'm saying when I do, and Taco Bell sounds good right now. I'm hungry. I didn't eat dinner, so I'm like, when we went from the baseball, I ate some oatmeal. I had a little loaf of bread. I didn't have a loaf of bread, but we finished our baseball tournament. I went home, contacted you, ate some oatmeal, which was not filling. But anyways, so I'm hungry right now, and Taco Bell sounds really good, but it's probably too late for Taco Bell, and
I think they're open all night, aren't they?
no, I don't know. But what I do know is it's nasty. It's a nasty place, and they really need to do something about it. They really need to do something about it. I mean, management or the corporate, corporate called, and they said, corporate needs to do something, and same with Pizza Hut. And I just wanted to rant, I guess, right there.
Well, see, to me, like Carl's Jr.,
it should have went a long time ago.
how is it still alive?
I don't know.
I've told you this story, dude, when we pulled up to the drive-thru to get Carl's Jr. Now, I've only tried to eat there once since it's been Carl's Jr. Pulled up to the drive-thru. This is me, my wife, Brandy, and...
Hasn't it always been Carl's Jr.?
No, it was Hardee's before.
Oh, okay. Well,
Long
that's different.
time ago. But
It's a
anyway,
different-
let me put it to you this way. We went up there, pulled up to and there's nobody. We're like, we go around the park and go inside. There's nobody. Nobody's in the restaurant, and it's wide open. Lights on, everything. Nobody's in there.
You thinking they're doing something in the...
Sexual things didn't cross my mind. It was more of is somebody robbing this place? Do they have everybody in the back room? What's going on, Well, we wander around, we go to leave, and we drive out back, and everybody is on a smoke break. Okay? They're all back there smoking cigarettes. There's like 4 of them back there. Nobody's in the store.
So what'd you do? Just drive on?
Yeah, but we yelped it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't, but because I don't do that. But she did, and
Put it
then
on Google, man.
and the dude that owns that franchise,
messaged.
yeah, she
or commented.
really sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you
I've
for
had that
changing.
happen.
They didn't change anything, dude. I went through there again, and there was nobody in there. There was a guy inside, but I went through the window, and they wouldn't acknowledge me at the thing. So.
Oh, the SD card's full. We went over. We have no more video, but we can keep going on audio. And we can wrap it up here pretty quick, but
Yeah, because I'm burning down.
If Taco Bell were to pay their managers a good sum of money, I might be interested just to prove a point.
That
You
it
know,
would help.
get somebody in there that cares, and it wants to, be run it the right way, and just kind of see what they can do with it.
Dude, I'll tell you a
Call
perfect.
me up, I'll do it.
I'll tell you a perfect example that's local that we know about that I have witnessed, and that is the Sonic in Wilburton has a different manager. He's got this young kid that they put in there, and I don't know him. He's not, he's not from Wilburton or whatever. And this dude is legit trying to turn it around.
Really,
Like they felt like it took too long to get my food one day because now I'm working over by Wilburton, so I go by there, every so often. Not supposed to be eating Sonic, okay, but I do sometimes. And
throw that out there.
yeah, but he felt like it took a little too long for my food, so he come out there and apologized and gave me this token thing for a free large drink.
Oh,
He's like, I'm sorry about it taking so long for your food, which I didn't even feel like it took a while. You know what I mean? I was like, hey, I thought it was okay, but I appreciate it, and at least you're trying. And like whenever I go to like if I don't have, it's ridiculous, but if I don't have tip money, I'll go through the little drive-through window to get my food.
yeah.
And they're always nice. Everybody's listening whenever I'm talking. Nobody's, now the Sonic here over by my house, not always that good.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never had any. I don't have any complaints on that Sonic.
I went in there one day and a dude, let's see, how did it work? No, that was at the one in Krebs.
I was fixing to say,
It wasn't
yeah.
the one in McAllister's, the one in Krebs.
Yeah, let's get this right, man. Because I mean, not to say that you're wrong, but I'm just saying I've never had any issues with this one.
Well, this dude, a kid in a purple shirt, took my order. Right? Okay. I first of all, I ordered out the little menu thing and then pulled forward, and then the kid in the purple shirt took my card, and then it was a long time I sat there, and this guy comes back over and he's got a real bad herpes outbreak right here on his face.
Oh,
okay,
good.
I'm talking about like bigger than the size of a quarter. Okay, which
That is
okay,
enormous.
okay, I mean, all right, don't touch my food. I'm keeping my eye on you, I mean, whatever. So he goes, did a guy in a purple shirt did he run your card? I was like, yeah. It's like, okay, well, I'll get your food here in a minute. And it was like, then I got like my hot dog. And then I could see my Red Bull slush sitting there. And I asked about it, and he's like, oh, we're having to make it. And then after like 2 minutes, he finally just walks over and picks it up and acts like he just made it and handed it to me. I'm like, I'm sitting here watching you. You know what I'm saying? I am sitting here watching. Yeah, dude. I'm just like, what is this place? But anyway, I sound like some sort of Sonic like connoisseur. Like, well, I visit all the local Sonics. Let me tell you the ones that are good and the ones that suck. But anyway,
Well, we have. I guess Wilburton's getting turned around, but back in the day, Hartshorn Sonic was the one that everybody praised.
yeah,
They were and now they're like, from what I hear, terrible. And the one here in McAllister, the new one, right here close to both of our homes, I have no complaints on that one. Which I don't, like I said, I don't eat out a lot, but I do every once in a while. I like to go down there and get me a little Sonic. Okay.
well, I was waited on at the new Sonic you're talking about by one of the high school football players who has a job down there. Did a great job, man. This dude was all on top of you, and you could tell he was a little bit new, but I mean
That's irrelevant.
Yeah, he was good, man. I mean,
fine.
he's trying, he's working hard, and got to respect it,
Yeah.
I mean,
When you go to Taco Bell, and now she may not be the manager now, but the manager a couple years ago, and that's how long this has been going on, at least that I know of. I was the line was very long, so Amy went in to get the food, right? So I'm sitting right in front, and she's like, "Oh, I'll go in and get it real quick." I was like, "All right, I'll sit out here with the kids or whatever, or with Kason." And so I'm sitting there just chilling, and the manager is outside talking to her boyfriend. Okay. Well, next thing I know, they're mugging down in the car. Like they get in the car and they're mugging down, and I'm guessing she's taking orders. I don't know.
For folks who were born after 1995, that means they were making out or kissing.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Hardcore. For a long time. And it took forever
Well, if you're gonna mug,
to get our food.
it's gonna be a while.
So then Case and I, a while back, went in there because the line was long. And I was like, oh, let's just go in, and he wanted to go in. So we went in. Dude, there was trash and dirt and old dirt. Old, not clean in the whole entire place. Every table had, cheese and lettuce and all this on it. Like there was no clean table in the whole place. And the girl that was taking the order, she was like, "Can I help you?"
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, and she never even looked up at me.
You go, yeah. Could you get someone who's not an introvert up here to take orders, please?
Yeah,
Thank
she
you.
was, and that's okay, to an extent. But it was just it's dirty. It's a terrible place. Don't eat there.
I eat there on occasion, but I'm not like
Turn the beat around, man.
Yeah.
Get somebody in there that can do the thing. And I'm sure there's some people in there that are good or whatever, but it's just not. It's nasty. It's nasty. And it's not just that one instance. Or her mugging down a couple years ago. I go there a lot. Even I'll probably go there again here soon. I'm talking smack about it, and I'm saying not to eat there, but I'll probably, I love the tacos, man.
Dude,
I love Taco Bell tacos.
I'm stupid when people go, Taco Bell didn't use real meat. I'm like, yeah. And then whenever I leave after talking to them,
Go right to Taco Bell.
I'm like, I don't care, man. Shit's good.
Exactly. Is it not real meat?
I don't know.
Yes, it is.
It's good sawdust. If that's what it is,
Yeah,
they
whatever
do it right,
it is.
Okay?
Yeah. It's just their food, man, is half-assed. They don't make their tacos and anything else that I order, man. It's just gross. It's just gross. It is. And it could be way better.
I agree with that.
Traveled the country. I'm in almost every state, man. I'm in a lot of different states. I've been to a ton, because Taco Bell and I hate to say it, Taco Bell and McDonald's, when I'm working, traveling, I don't have a lot of time to eat. So they are my go-tos. Those are the places I know I'm going to like the food, and I kind of crave it. You're kind of stressed about, working and all that or whatever, and you're just trying to get some comfort food, and so you can get on the road and whatever. So I've been to a lot of Taco Bells and a lot of McDonald's, and I don't really have any issue with the McDonald's up here because when I'm home, I really don't eat McDonald's, which is weird.
That is weird.
But
I had McDonald's today.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it good?
Hell yeah!
Of course it was. But I have
bacon on that double cheeseburger.
This Taco Bell is the worst one I've been to, by far.
Of all of them?
Of all of them. And I'm not being facetious. I'm not stretching it. I'm telling you straight up, it's the worst one I've ever been to. And I've been to a lot of Taco Bells in California. I've been to a lot of Taco Bells in Texas.
Sound like you said Delata.
Taco Bells in Minnesota,
Is that Spanish?
New Jersey, Massachusetts, Florida.
This is turning into a Johnny Cash song.
Did I say Texas already?
I've been everywhere,
I've been everywhere, man. New Hampshire, Delaware, Maine, dude, you name it.
They got Taco Bells in Maine?
Georgia. Yes. You name a state, and I've probably eaten at a Taco Bell there. There's not very many states I haven't been to, and I guarantee you I've ate at a Taco Bell at every single state that I've been to. And McAllister, Oklahoma's, listen to me. McAllister, Oklahoma's is the worst. The Taco Bell in McAllister, Oklahoma is the worst Taco Bell.
Where's the next closest Taco Bell?
To here?
Yeah.
I don't know, Muskogee?
Oh God. Well, I don't think it's awesome at all, and I think there's plenty of room for improvement.
Go there tomorrow and You know, to give you an excuse to go get you some tacos. Go there tomorrow.
Didn't I
Go-
just tell you I had diarrhea? Okay, I don't need more of that. And I love Taco Bell, but it do loosen me up.
It does?
Yes.
Okay, go to Taco Bell tomorrow.
I'll just drink a lot of Pedialyte and then go get some.
Or
I'm
just
good.
go to Taco Bell and get you a Coke. Actually, just go in there.
Maybe I should just walk in there and look around like I'm looking for something
Right.
and then walk back out.
Go in there and with the intention of ordering one item off the menu, and you probably will turn around and leave.
I'm going to video myself coming in there, and then whenever I'm walking up the door, I'm going to go,
How about we do it together
I'll do that.
for the podcast?
I'll do that so we can prove it. We'll put the video in at the end of this thing.
That's a good idea
Hell
to
yeah.
let everybody know. Because I'm very confident in it being
The grossness.
Yeah,
Well, at least we can count on something.
right. Is that current enough? We touched base on some current stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty current. Yeah, we're good.
I mean, I know that Flip probably can't really relate to that. He does diet. What is it called? Something dash or food dash or what is it called, man? He gets his food delivered to him
Oh,
like Uber, man. But he just orders this up right on this app, and somebody goes and picks it up for him and brings it to his house.
that's nothing wrong with that. I wish they had it around here.
But it's like 20. I think at one point I was like, "So you just paid $27 for a burger and fries?" He was like, "Yep, but I don't have to get out and drive."
Well, and think about this. Think about what if he lives in a bigger city.
Well, yeah,
Does he live in Seattle?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so. Close to.
By the time he drives to wherever
Yeah,
it's
could
at and
be.
drives back,
Yeah,
it might
I
be
get
about
it.
the same. I don't know.
I get it. Yeah,
And the luxury
Doesn't
of
take
not
him a
having to
wh-
go.
right. And it doesn't take him away from Apex
Oh God, yeah.
or Rainbow
Thank God.
Six Siege, which I haven't played in a long time.
I played about.
But do you
20
think
minutes this
you think
morning.
he'll be able to relate to anything that we said?
Oh yeah. Definitely, I'm sure he's got opinions.
I would love to hear his opinions, and we need to get him on here. We're going to set up another computer where his face is, right here on the desk at some point, where we can all just I think that would be cool.
Yeah, let's do that.
Anything else we need to touch base on before we go? We're at an hour and 45 minutes.
No, I'm
So
ready.
We still got 2 more hours to go.
I'm sweating.
So we can wrap it up.
All right then.
We kind of did a little bit of comedy there. We were a little bit funny.
It's a total accident.
Yeah, but they're true stories. That's the thing. I mean,
Everything I said was the damn truth.
I could make stuff up. I just don't see how people could do that though. I mean, I know comedians
Why
make
do you
stuff
need
up.
to?
Well, I know, but I know comedians that are funny, like Theo Vaughn, man. I have to believe that some stuff he's saying is made up, But dude, nobody's funnier than that guy.
Have you heard about the story that got
Nobody.
him where he got clean, got off drugs because of it, because
No.
of the limo driver and all that?
No.
You need to research him a little bit more, dude.
There's a story.
Very, very funny story.
Is it like
Him
one of
and-
his stories on
Him and the limo driver.
Instagram or whatever? Is it
I
on
think
there?
I saw it on a comedy special he was doing.
But is it true?
I don't know.
That's the thing. So we come up here
I
and we're
don't
telling
believe it
real
is.
stories, true
Right.
stories. I could make stuff up, but I don't need to, man. I have so many. Dude, I had another story that was similar to the, my wang hanging out, man. I had another similar story that I didn't, I'll save that for another podcast. Stay tuned, because it's pretty funny too. I've told people, they're like, oh my gosh. Weird stuff happens to me. It really does.
Me too.
It really does.
Well, I say we put an end to this sweaty episode.
Because it is hot.
I'm ready for AC. I know it's right outside the window right there.
Yeah, it feels like, oh yeah, your truck. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, all right. We've got a couple of good guests coming up. I know we keep saying that, and people are like, okay, well,
They've been good too, though. It's not like our guests have sucked up to
no,
this
no,
point.
no, no. I know that. I'm not saying that at all.
But
I'm
we're
just
always
saying
going to
we've
say it
got-
because I'm excited, dude. I'm excited about everybody that I know of so far right now. I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
there's going to be some good things come out of that. Going to be an entertaining experience. if for no one else, for myself. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, this episode has been brought to you by
Blackline Insurance Group
.com.
and my Snapchat. No, I'm just kidding.
What are you plugging today? I'm not plugging blacklineinsurancegroup.com because they're our sponsors. And I guess that is a plug, isn't it?
Yeah. I'll plug Kinder Morgan Treating.
Huh?
The place I work for, man. I just got a raise. Hello.
No, I know, but I mean,
I can be thankful for a minute.
I'm excited you did.
Me
For real.
freaking too.
I'm
And my
excited.
little car that I've been working on is excited too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's maybe a remote chance that it'll be finished one of these days.
Is that going to help, your business where you work, plugging it here?
No,
Oh, okay.
I'm just plugging it to plug it.
Oh.
Oh, here's another thing, dude. Let's ask
it.
them.
Do it.
I would like to see. Okay, when I finish my car, I'm building a 1971 Pontiac Le Mans. If anybody wants to Google that and see what it is,
Do it.
when I get it running, and we're talking about doing an episode in my car.
Who's going to say no to that?
Well, I know that's what I want to see what people think about it. You know what I mean? Say,
Are you going to do a burnout? Or are you scared to?
God, I don't want to tear it up.
When's the
dude.
last time you've done a
You know how
burnout
much
in your life?
Work I've done on that car.
Have you ever done a burnout in your whole life?
Yes, many burnouts in
In
vehicles you
what?
shouldn't even burn out in. You know
Really?
what I
I
mean?
can't see you doing a burnout. I can see
Really?
you being that guy like, oh, I don't want to, burn my tires.
That's true. I'm that way
Which-
to an extent.
I'm that way now, okay? I ain't doing no burnouts, okay? Because I got to pay for them tires.
Yeah, I know. Me too. Well, I would just I would like to know if there's a number of people that are interested in us doing one from the car because, I mean, if it's one or two people, I do want to satisfy those people. But if most people that listen would be like, whatever, then, it's going to be quite a bit of setup.
Well, here's the thing. Go to our Facebook page and like it.
Yep.
Comment if you want to see that. Or go to our Instagram, like it, comment if you want to see that. If you comment on the Facebook page, LJ's not going to, he sees it because I'm like screenshotting stuff and it's like, look, but
But Instagram, we're both looking at.
yeah, we're both looking at it, so we'll both see that at the same time. And I don't
We
have
both
to.
end up liking crap, thinking we're on our personal
accident.
accounts.
or posting a big long story. What was the one was it camp or something? No, it was
Yeah, that's what it was. It was not golf.
golf camp.
Yeah,
Yes, it was
all
our guy.
day thing.
And then I was like, oh my gosh, I posted that on our freaking podcast.
Which that's not
I know, but still it was funny because
definitely funny.
people were like, what? This ain't funny, this ain't.
That's like
But it was, current.
yeah.
That's what was going on in my life at that exact moment.
I'm a little bit thrown off sometimes because some of the people that we follow with the podcast aren't the same as I follow on my personal account. So it's like I'll see these odd things,
Yes.
and that's what it always tells me every time. I'm like, oh shit, I'm
Yeah.
not on mine. I'm on the podcast one. So I suck at technology.
So, anyways, if you want to see you want to do it live?
From the car?
Yeah.
What if it breaks down or something? I'll do that.
That would be great if it did.
But here, this is a huge but.
It
like
is a
Oprah
GM.
Winfrey's butt, big.
Oh, that's big.
The car is not going to have air conditioning.
What?
No, not yet.
Well, then we wait till it has air conditioning.
Okay.
No, we don't have to do that. We
People
can do it.
people say whether they'd rather see us do it with or without air conditioning. And
They want
do
to see us
whatever.
suffer. They want to see us suffer, dude. Nothing like sitting in air conditioning, watching somebody with no air conditioning.
Well,
Like,
and
oh,
this
man.
car's been really well insulated, so there won't be like heat off the engine, that kind of thing. That won't be as much of a factor. You know
Well,
what I'm
now you
saying?
lost them. They're like, well.
Well,
screw
I'm
it.
trying to keep you from backing out, is what I'm trying to do. But
I ain't gonna back out. I don't back out for nothing.
it's got to do with cars and go fast, and you're not
Yeah.
into that kind of thing. So
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, right. If you're not gonna do a burnout in it, I'm not down. Come on.
Oh my God. I have to wait till I buy tires till after
I
that.
say we race. I say we race your car against my Expedition.
What? The car's brand new and it'll smoke your balls.
That's
You
what
don't
I'm
want to do
saying.
that.
I think we should do that.
All right, I'll do
I
that.
think we should do that.
I'll do that.
But we should focus on doing the podcast in your car first.
And here's another thing.
It won't be that hard. I mean, we're not gonna be able to hook this thing up to the. We'd have to hook this up to the battery.
Yeah, I've got a what do you call it?
That's not gonna work. That thing's gonna require juice directly from the battery, not from a converter
An inverter?
or an inverter. My bad.
Well, it's supposed to be 110.
thinking-
That's what that thing takes.
Oh,
It's
okay.
supposed to be.
Okay.
I paid a lot of money for this inverter
Oh,
I'm
okay.
talking about, so it better power it.
Does it have a Cadillac?
runs
Does it have a Cadillac
laptops.
converter on it? Does it have a catalytic converter on it, or is it gonna have?
God, no.
Okay, good.
It's a 1971 Le Mans, bro. No.
Is it gonna have mufflers on it? What kind of mufflers?
I'm
What kind of
kind of.
exhaust you putting on it?
I'm leaning towards Flowmasters, but I may.
Thank you.
No, I
No,
don't know
don't
yet.
do Magnaflows. People are like, oh, they sound so much better. They don't sound so much better. We're losing our female viewers right now because
I
they're like,
know.
we don't give up about this.
Well,
But maybe they like to hear our voice. I don't know.
women like cars, dude. They especially like old, cool cars, and that's
Yeah.
what my car is.
Yeah. Except
But
it's a
we have
GM.
to take it easy because it's been lowered. Like I can't be going to McDonald's. in it,
No.
you know what I mean? I can't be
Right.
going over speed bumps and shit in this thing.
Really?
Yes,
It's that low?
I've lowered an inch and a half in the front.
Mm.
Yeah, it's gonna look real cool, but
Yeah.
you know, I'm not gonna be able to like run from the cops.
So you're not going to be able to drive it in McAllister's, is what you're saying?
Yes, I just have to go slow whenever.
There is nowhere that you can drive a lowrider in McAllister without dragging or knocking something off of your car.
I'll just drive slower.
I don't even want to talk about how bad our streets are
Oh,
and
God.
have been forever.
We could go on. This damn thing would for sure be 3 hours long if we did that.
For sure.
Okay.
This episode,
Does it-
BlacklineInsuranceGroup.com.
Does anybody out there want to be the rider in our live Le Mans episode from the car?
What would they do? Video?
And just ride, man. Just
Oh,
be
just
the
ride?
yeah. We can set the cameras up on the dash or something. You know what I mean? We can do a bunch of GoPros. We've got another one for sure.
Yeah.
So I might even buy one for that episode just to throw on there
And
so
just
we have
it-
angles.
And have them a mic too?
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Okay.
we'll work it out.
All right. I mean, we haven't talked about that much, so
Be like
I didn't know
riding-
what you had in mind.
comedians
I'm
riding
down for
cars.
whatever. I'm down for whatever. If you want me to ride on the hood, I'll ride on the hood. If you want me to ride on the hood, like on a little blanket and wear a little princess crown and maybe a little dress or whatever, and act like we're in our own little parade, and I'll sit there and wave at everybody.
I don't want to get a ticket the first time I drive the car.
Well, how about we just not leave the parking lot, but
Okay.
we do like a little photo op.
Speaking of Princess, I was watching a video of Prince doing Manic Monday
Mm-hmm.
today that just came out, I guess, evidently.
Yeah.
And I knew he was a small man, okay?
Oh, he's very small,
When I
he
saw
was
those
tiny.
videos of him,
tiny.
he was a little bitty man.
Yeah.
He was little like my wife. You know what I'm saying? Little bitty man.
Yeah.
Very short. Very huge hair, giant hair,
Mhm.
very small body.
Be careful what you want to say.
About Prince and his legacy.
Yeah, don't say anything bad about Prince.
I'm sure that his
Nobody.
heels were
Nothing.
higher than his feet were long. You know what
Well,
I'm saying?
yeah, that's fine. You can say that kind of stuff. That's true. Yeah, he was a little dude. He was
little bitty.
very talented though. Extremely talented. You don't know of anyone that's more talented than that guy. There hasn't been anybody on this planet that's more talented than Prince himself. And that is the damn truth.
Views in this podcast are not necessarily representative of the views of the entire podcast.
That's fine, but name one person.
That's more talented than Prince?
Yeah, name one person.
Like musically? Is that what you mean?
anything.
I would say probably.
And if you want to go just musically, then you better just keep your mouth shut. Because there's nobody.
I'm gonna say Chris Stapleton
Now, if
is
you-
better
Oh my
any day of the week.
Oh my God! I gotta get off. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
I'm gonna say John Mayer is probably better than him.
Now you're just being stupid. Now you're just trying to piss me off. I'm not falling for it. He's just doing this to get it right. I'm not. Nope. Nope.
Oh my God, dude! No,
No. Nobody.
I'm just.
No.
I'm sorry, man,
No.
but he's not. Have you listen? And this is for real.
What?
Think about this. Have you ever paid any attention to the man, full size man too, by the way, known as Roy Clark from Hee Haw? Roy Clark.
Yes.
More talented than Prince any day of the week. Musically, more talented. Go watch some YouTube videos of him. Watch him play any number of instruments.
For anyone that's listening, I'm shaking my head.
Dude, I'm telling you, for anyone listening, Google it. And you're going to be thoroughly impressed with Roy Clark. Way more than Itty Bitty Prince.
Oh,
Sorry.
Gosh.
Sorry, man.
You're
Trent,
not
am I
sorry.
wrong, Trent? No, actually, Trent would probably agree
Trent's
with you.
just got his chin up, man. He's not.
Keep your chin up,
He's
Trent.
got his head up. He's nose up. He's sticking his nose up to you. He's like, man, I ain't listening to nothing you're saying.
Those calves, bro.
I know, man.
Those calves are on point.
Yeah, it's so crazy because it's only like 45 pounds, but he's making it seem like it's real heavy.
Well, he may have done it 400 times at his CrossFit after
It's
all.
not 45 pounds. It's more than that. It's more than that. It's 55.
His
55 pounds.
His forearms say it's heavy.
Well, he's flexing.
Mm-hmm.
He
sure of it.
well, he definitely had a bowl of Rice Krispies before he did this. This is a photo op, man. Like he came in and like got ready just for this.
What did he say when he saw that for the first time? Did he say anything to you?
Well, it was here in this gym, and he's actually not a member anymore.
Right.
So it was on the ground, and the rest of them are hanging up in the hallway, And he was like, "What? What? Why not on the wall?"
Went from the wall of fame to the floor of shame.
Well, now he's in the studio with us.
Yeah, and in spirit.
Yeah.
You know, him and Mike Myers.
Well, he called me and he said, "Listen, I want to know when the next one's coming out." And I've gotten messages too that were like, "Hey, what's the deal? What's the hold up? You guys are not quitting?" And I'm like, "No,
God,
we ain't
no.
quitting.
You couldn't get that lucky.
There's no AC in this place, man."
There damn sure ain't no AC.
That's the truth.
I am fully aware
We
of it
didn't
right
make
now.
that up. I mean, you saying Roy Clark.
Dude.
He was very talented, very talented. I know. He died not long ago. He was very talented.
He could jam on any number of instruments.
And so could Prince.
Yeah, but we're talking about a level of talent. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
The look on your face is just making me want to puke. BlacklineInsuranceGroup.com. LJ's YouTube channel. You're trying to get off of here without doing your YouTube channel.
God, dude.
If you put in Luke Combs, Lucas Johnson, I'm going to keep saying it like this. In the search bar, you will find his channel. That's the easiest way to find it. Go to our Instagram, like our Instagram.
Please.
I don't drink coffee. It's all together. Find us on Facebook, like it, and
subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I don't drink coffee. Subscribe to it. We put all the videos on there, and everything's videoed except
the video of it might be slightly funnier than the audio, just because of our reactions and that kind of thing like that. I highly recommend people going and watching this podcast go down. I know a lot of people listen to it. I sound like Forrest Gump just now. I know a lot of people, or somebody that's English. Anyway,
a lot of people.
A lot of people listen to it during the day when they're at work and that kind of thing like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you're driving, you're doing different things. I get that. But if you get time, if you're at home and you want to watch something funny, get on our YouTube channel and watch this podcast happen. It's funny. If nothing else, you see Ben trying to keep from like silhouetting his nose or something like that. So he's all worried
Is it
about
that
his,
obvious?
It's intensely obvious. Anyways, like, subscribe, share, do those things, and
Comment.
yeah, man, let
Let
us
us
know,
know.
dude.
Yeah. Some of you are.
Yeah, some people are really good about it, and I appreciate it. We appreciate
Yes, very much
anything we can get as far as responses go. The more, the merrier.
so. I mean, we don't need your approval. Don't think that.
Well, but we would like to be able to keep it entertaining and keep headed in the right
But if
direction.
you do approve, we would love to. We would love to know. And if you disapprove, we would love to know.
Yeah.
But we don't need your approval.
Yeah, we probably think we're right.
Except about Roy Clark.
No, we'll probably think we're right about that too.
No, we probably won't.
All right, I'm ready to go not sweat. Have yourself a great day.
Love your body.